Hey guys, I saw Rogue One on the 26th of December. I was going to see it earlier, but I'm like, no, let's wait till the holidays begin. And so anyways, I saw it. And there's going to be spoilers for this, but before I start on that and what I thought of it, the day after I saw it, the 27th, which was yesterday right now, because today's the 28th, Carrie Fisher died. She passed away. And when I heard that, I was just like, fuck. It wasn't. It didn't devastate me because I didn't know her, but it was like, that sucks, sort of thing. And the reason why is because a lot of people grew up with her. A lot of people didn't grow up with her. They learned about her as Princess Leia and from other things as time went by. But she was great. She was a great actress, great writer, everything. She she didn't pull no punches. She spoke the truth about her demons, and you gotta love a person who can do that. Say, yeah, I'm not perfect. Okay, so she was amazing, just for that. But here's the thing: a lot of people think Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley was the first strong female character in a movie. But to all us Star Wars fans, we knew it was Princess Leia. It was Carrie Fisher who did that first. She was a woman who, at the start of the movies, A New Hope, you were like, okay, she's just a damsel in distress. But then as the movie just went on, that she could handle a weapon, that she was smart, that she was just as good as any man. And so, to Carrie Fisher, to Princess Leia, rest in peace. So anyways, now that that's done, let's go into Rogue One review. A movie that was made, that's a prequel, that was made 30-something years later, could tie in exactly as that movie did 35 years ago. And what I'm saying is, it's hard to say this, but okay, where Rogue One ended, you could immediately go to A New Hope, press play, and that movie keeps going. And it just keeps going and going. I've never seen a movie pull that off, a prequel pull that off. I know some of you are like, the best prequel is probably Godfather Part 2. But it isn't. That's a sequel with like flashbacks and maybe prequels thrown into it. But Rogue One was perfect how they could just seamlessly pull a movie from the present and bring it back to the past so it all tied in together. It was fantastic that way for that. I loved the Easter eggs. There were so many Easter eggs for a Star Wars fan. My favorite Easter egg, I'm going to be honest, was when Jin was walking down sort of that street and she bumped into that guy. And he's like, you better watch yourself. And I'm like, oh my god, that's a guy from the cantina that Obi-Wan fucks up. I love that part so much. I was just like, holy shit. Yes, R2 and C-3PO show up, but it's like, they have to. They've been in every Star Wars movie made. So they had to show up, which I still enjoyed, but that, the guys from the cantina, the cocky guys from the cantina, that just, I love that part so much. The Red 5, who died, and you realize, he had to die so Luke could take over. That I liked. There was a lot of other ones that I've heard other people talked about. I'm like, you guys are way too good into fucking Star Wars. Like, they know the cartoons, the comics, and they were catching everything. I was like, I'm just talking about the ones I know. Oh, I loved it when they were at what was his name? Hold on, I'm gonna check this. I keep the names were so hard to remember. It was at Saw Gerrera's place, and you saw the guys watching the hologram of the girl dance, which was from fucking Return of the Jedi. That was awesome. I love that. Uh, what else to have? What else? What other Easter eggs? There were so many, but I'm trying to think of the ones that I saw. God, there were so many, and I can't remember them all because it's like, what, 2 days later. Oh, the one thing I applauded them so much for was we all thought, like, it's the Death Star. How the fuck did Luke, like, oh, you throw a torpedo down this hole and it blows up the Death Star? It was Jyn Erso's father, played by Mads Mikkelsen, Galen Erso, right? Galen Erso, who was sort of the weapons designer of the Death Star, who built that in. He hated the Empire, but they needed him, so he built that in and hid that. I thought that was brilliant, brilliant how they did that, because we've all wondered, like, come on, it's the Death Star. How the hell do you fucking miss a hole that leads to the center of the Death Star that kills it? Well, it was Galen Erso. So that was well written, well thought of. Thank you for confirming it for all of us fans. So let's just get to it. The one scene that I loved. The Darth Vader scene at the end. We've all had relatives, like younger siblings or kids, that we're trying to tell them, like, Darth Vader's a badass. And they watch movies and like, he's not that much of a badass. And this movie shows it. When the rebels are on the ship and they can hear something happening. They hear, like, the door being cut open. And we see it from their perspective, and it's just dark. And then all of a sudden, and that red lightsaber lights up, and you see Darth Vader stand there. You're just like, oh fuck, please show this, please show this. So all the young kids can know out there that Darth Vader is the most evil motherfucker, that he is the most biggest badass of them all in movies. And they fucking showed it. I'm sorry for the language, but I'm going to do it. When he was just grabbing guys, snapping necks, pinning them up, slicing them, taking away their weapons, throwing it. And you see the one guy, he's got the plans to the Death Star. And he's just trying to, like, please, first, open the door, get me out of here. And he knows, no, I'm not surviving Darth Vader. There's not a chance he's surviving Darth Vader. And he's just take it. That scene it was just confirmed everything that we knew. Darth Vader is a badass. So another applaud for that one. That one scene with Darth Vader made that movie just over the top. It wasn't the cherry on top. It was the whipped cream. It was the cherries. It was the sprinkles. It was the chocolate sauce. It was everything, that scene. Like, nothing beat that. I do have some problems with this movie. The CGI in it. Governor Tarkin. I wish they would have just... I know CGI, you gotta use it. The characters are dead or they're not as young as you need them to be. But that CGI, it lasted too long on their faces. Just the camera being too long on the CGI face. So it sort of pulled me out. If it showed General Tarkin as just him looking at the Death Star and you see his reflection in the glass, and then you see he turns and you see the side of his face, that could have worked for me. But they just were too close up. CGI isn't that. CGI is great. It's getting better and better all the time, but for a while. It lasted too long, so it pulled me out of that scene. Same with the Princess Leia thing, but I didn't care. I was like, I saw it, and I'm like, it's CGI. But I'm like, but what a great scene. I don't give a shit. I'll ignore it. But the General Tarkin thing, it went on too much. So it was pulling me out. So that's number one. But number two is the part when, I know some people are not going to have a problem with it, but I don't know, it fucking, I don't know. The part leading up to it, I liked. It's when, what's his name? Orson Krennic, played by Ben Mendelsohn. I gotta look down because I'm shit with names, guys. But when he's standing there waiting for Darth Vader and the doors open up and you see the shadow of Darth Vader appear behind him and you see him swallow. Like, he's been a fucking great character, a tough character, Ben Mendelsohn's character. And then you see him like, Darth Vader's here. You could see the fear in his eyes. Great acting. Loved it. Right? But here's the part I didn't like. Darth Vader starts choking him, and Ben Mendelsohn's character falls to his knees, and then fucking Vader gives that stupid ass line, don't choke on your ambitions, or whatever it was. You guys will correct me, but it was something like that. Don't choke on your ambitions. Like, don't choke on your ambitions. It was so fucking, that was so cheesy, dude. You know what would have been better? And I did think of it, not as great as I thought of it after the movie, but it did cross my mind. It was something about being on your knees. But then after the movie was over, I'm like, you know what would have been better? If you're gonna beg on your knees. And that's why he's choking him, to make him fall on his knees. Because he's sort of begging to be the control. He's begging to control the Death Star, right? Ben Mendelsohn's character, what was his name again? God, what's his? Orson Krennic. I hate that name, Orson Krennic. But anyways, that was my number one pet peeve. Was that? Don't choke on your ambitions. Nah, fuck. That was so cheesy. So cheesy. If it was fucking, if you're gonna beg on your knees, and that's why Vader's choking him, so he drops him to his knees. That would have been the shit. That would have been dope. But no, it was a fucking cheesy line. Those are my only two flaws with this video. This movie, sorry. This video, I have many flaws with this video, but the movie, that was my only two flaws. Otherwise, I loved it. I would have to say my favorite character was, I'm not even going to try the name. But Donnie Yen's character. I'm sorry, I'm not even going to try the name. But Donnie Yen's character, just someone who believed in the Force. And what was that line he said? I believe in the Force is with me. Something like that. I believe in the Force is with me. But, fuck, his character, besides K2, no, was my number one character. K2 is my second character, I would say I love the most. And, yeah, Jyn Erso was a great character. I'm not too sure about Cassian. Is it Cassian? Yeah, I think Cassian Andor. Oh, by the way, there's a lot of those in there, in the movie. A lot of, like, play on words. He got better as the movie went on. But, yeah, but Donnie Yen's character, loved him, dude. And I loved his partner. What was his partner's name? I'm going to have to look it up. Oh, his partner's name was Baz Malbus. But I like those two characters. Their friendship sort of thing. It's like, oh yeah, the Force protected me, and Baz is like, no, I protected you. So yeah, I loved that. So there it is, guys. My review of Rogue One. What did you think of Rogue One? What parts did you like? What parts did you hate? Let me know. Take care, guys.